Hi everyone, this is Allan Wright from Zephyr Conferences. Welcome to week 4 of our 10-part weekly series on marketing for small food, wine, and beer companies. Last week we talked about surveying your customers, gathering their opinions. This week we're talking about what is sort of the flip side of that, which are consumer reviews. These are also opinions of your business and your products, but they're done on independent websites and obviously without your control. We're not talking here, just so we're all clear, about professional reviews like you'll see in wine or beer magazines. And we're also not talking about awards programs like the Great American Beer Festival. So, when we're talking about consumer reviews, many people see them as a bit of a pain, shall we say, or something to be feared. However, that's not the case. I think that they should be seen really as opportunities. First and foremost, if you get good reviews, that's obviously excellent for marketing. Not just that you could use quotes from those reviews, but more importantly, that other people will see them online and hopefully try out your business or your products. However, it's also an opportunity to address problems. When you do have negative reviews and people are specific about what they are complaining about, then you can address those problems and improve your business. It's also an opportunity to repair relationships. Someone who's providing a negative review is not likely to come back unless you're able to take that opportunity and repair that relationship. And finally, even just interacting with people on there is a good way to lead to customer interaction and can benefit your business. So the most important thing here is really, how do you handle negative reviews? And I think that we have a number of different strategies that you have to keep in mind. Number one, acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge that the person leaving the review has a point of view that is valid. If you discount that person's point of view, then you're going to come off as, number two, defensive. And you don't want to be defensive because other people reading these reviews will see it as you being defensive and will read your business as being negative in that sense. Number three, be polite. Obviously, you always want to be polite online, especially when dealing with customers, especially when doing so in public like this. And number four, take corrective action and outline what you will be doing if that's necessary. So if someone does point out something that's valid, your tasting room glasses were dirty, then tell them how you're going to address that. And number five, consider inviting back someone like this and maybe even giving them a perk if that person did complain about dirty glasses and they were correct. And maybe even if you didn't think they were correct, invite them back and offer them a free glass if they come back into your wine or your tasting room or your chocolatier, something like that. The next thing, though, I'd like to point out is that you don't always want to engage with these. First of all, you don't need to comment on every single review. We all see this with some hotels, for example, that the manager goes on and comments every single time and has practically a copy and paste response, and it's boring. So you don't want to be put in that position. But more importantly, when the reviews are really negative or the reviewer is really negative, it might not benefit you at all to respond. So for example, if the commenter is too aggressive, I don't think you're ever going to win by engaging. If the commenter won't let go of an issue, so if you've responded nicely, politely, explained, apologized, and the person attacks you more, it's probably best to just drop it. If a comment is racist, homophobic, or otherwise unacceptable, then I don't think it's worth responding in that case either. And in fact, in that case, you can contact the site itself and ask that comment to be removed, and maybe even the commenter to be removed. Whether you're successful or not probably depends on the site. Another important issue in this is how do you deal with this, right? So there are so many different sites out there that allow customer reviews, consumer reviews, and you don't have that much time. So the first off is you have to decide, do you have time to engage? And once you do decide, which sites are you going to monitor? You can't go onto all of them all the time. Obviously, it would be a full-time job. So once you do decide which sites you're going to monitor, I would suggest setting up a calendar notice on your online calendar so that once a week, for example, you go on and you check these sites for your listing and see if there are new comments on there. Some of these sites allow you to set up alerts, and if you don't, and if that's not the case, you can also set up alerts yourself. So a common one is Google Alerts, which allows you to set up alerts for specific products if they're well known, or your company name, and that's definitely important. I would definitely do that, and if you put it in quotation marks, you're only going to get alerts to items that really address your company. However, it's not clear that you will get everything, and certainly not every comment on every consumer rating site. So there are other tools that do just that. Two of them are Reputology and Review Trackers, and those will allow you to track these online ratings. Now, what kind of sites should you be looking at? In our industries, there are ones that are specific to beer. For example, ratebeer.com, Beer Advocate, Untapped, and in wine, we've got Vivino, Wine Searcher, and Cellar Tracker. But you also have the general sites, which are, for example, Google My Business, Yelp, and TripAdvisor. We all know those are hugely important, and if you're not paying attention to those, it could be a problem. I hope this is helpful. Next week, we're going to talk about CRMs and email marketing. Thanks.